How is it going, guys? Welcome back to another Skyrim lore discussion video. Today I'm going to talk about another one of those age-old questions. Who's in the right, Saadia or Kematu? So if you guys don't know, after completing the Dragon Rising quest, when you walk back into Whiterun, there will be two Alakir warriors talking to a guard, and they are searching for a woman, a red guard woman, and they're asking for any information you could possibly get on her. And as you all may know, this red guard woman turns out to be Saadia, the barmaid. So today I'm going to be discussing whether or not Saadia really is in the right, or whether or not she actually is who Kematu and the Alakir say she is. So let's start off with Saadia's side. So according to Saadia, the Alakir looking for her are assassins, and she's been in hiding for a while, hiding from them. She doesn't really give too much of an explanation as to why they're after her. She just kind of says that they're assassins and that she's been in hiding for a very long time. She'll send you to try to gather information as to where their leader is located by sending you to an Alakir prisoner who got arrested in Whiterun. You can, play the little game with him, and he will send you down. He'll send you to Swindler's Den, which is where Kematu and the Alakir are at. Once you actually show up, Kematu will tell all of his men to put their swords down, and he'll talk to you. He'll tell you that Saadia isn't actually who she says that she is. She's actually a woman named Iman who sought out the city of Teneth during the war with the Admeri Dominion, which actually cost the city its independence. If it wasn't for her, Teneth would have been able to hold its ground. So if you guys don't know, Hammerfell is actually an independent province. It's not under the influence of the Imperials, and it's definitely not under the influence of the Admeri Dominion. It is completely independent, and it actually earned its independence because it was a part of the Empire, but as part of the White Gourd Concordat, a massive part of southern Hammerfell would be handed over to the Admeri Dominion, and they really did not like that, to the point where they actually had to sign off that the Imperials would basically exclude Hammerfell from the Empire, and then the Admeri Dominion went to war with them and was eventually driven out. But during that short time, Teneth did fall due to Iman's, traitorism. So, some things to note. Like I said, Saadia doesn't really go into much detail about what really she thinks the motives are. Listen, okay, if you have assassins, highly qualified assassins attacking you and seeking you out, you'd think you'd have a pretty good story as to why. They're not just seeking you out for no reason, right? And also, and she's pretty quick to send you off to go kill him. Not just, try to figure out how to way to, get her into hiding again, or, try to get her to safety, or try to convince him that she's dead. She wants Kematu dead, so that this will completely end. Now, something interesting I want to mention is if it was true that Saadia did sell out the city of Teneth, you'd think that she would have a lot of money, because I think it's also hinted that she's a noble woman, so she would have a lot of money, right? And after you do such a treacherous thing like selling out a city to the Admeri Dominion, you'd think she'd go into hiding, in Elsewhere, Valenwood, or Somerset Isles, right? In one of the provinces controlled by the Admeri Dominion. You'd think the people who she sold the city out to would offer her protection, or she would at least go down to those provinces where the Red Guards wouldn't really try to seek her out. And she obviously had the money to do so, as she just fucking sold out a city. There would probably be a pretty high incentive to do that, and you'd think they would offer protection as well. So the fact that she ended up in Skyrim, and specifically in one of the main influential cities, Whiterun, that's either implies that she didn't have money or resources or connections to actually get down to a safe spot, which doesn't make sense. If she was a noble woman who sought out a city, there would be infinite resources at her disposal to get to safety. So either she did have those resources and she's just not very intelligent, or maybe Kematu's lying. Now, the thing is though, Kematu does give lots of details about Saadia. He mentions a few other previous names that he's caught her using, so there's clearly a backstory that he has. And it does seem pretty sound. Before this quest begins, there's also a random encounter you can find along the roads of Skyrim, where the Alakir warriors will be harassing random Red Guard women. So this is clearly a very organized, highly funded search mission for this one woman. If they were just simply assassins, you'd think they wouldn't have have this much forces dedicated to such a large time scale to dedicate it to seeking out this one target. You'd think if they were assassins, you think they would know exactly where she's at, that they have infinite connections to find out where she is. But no, they really are just the Alakir warriors trying to seek out a woman. That's what I really believe. And also the prisoner in Whiterun, he mentions that his failure cost him his position with the Alakir, and his life with them is over. That doesn't sound like assassins to me. That sounds like a highly competitive, highly moral, like a group of warriors with that's highly competitive and with a high code of ethics and standards. That sounds like what they would do, as punishment for getting caught, they would ban you from their organization. It doesn't seem like a group of assassins would really do that, right? So I guess my point is, Saadia's story doesn't really make much sense, but Kematu's is a really fleshed out story, and it has a lot of actual facts behind it, and it seems extremely true. At the end of the day, there's no really 100% proof way of figuring out if it really is Saadia or if it really is Kematu who was lying. One thing I want to quickly point out, a lot of people will say that after the quest, if you side with Kematu, Saadia's urn will show up in the Heart of the Dead. That does not imply that he kills her in Whiterun Stables, because that's just the way the game internally deals with the situation, right? Because once the quest is completed, I believe that it sets Saadia to be disabled. So the game kind of treats her being disabled as her being dead, and if she's dead, an urn will show up in the Heart of the Dead, just like any NPC. If any NPC gets disabled or killed, their urn will be in the Heart of the Dead. So that's not really proof of anything, that's just a little quirk of the game engine. But yeah, there is no real 100% factual proof of either side, but I really believe Kematu, as Saadia doesn't really give you a feasible backstory. She kind of just says that they're assassins, and she tries to decredit them and send you to kill them. I don't feel like that's a very valid approach to the situation in any sense. And the whole time, Kematu is consistent, and he pays you lots of money too. Anyways, yeah, thank you guys for watching. That's my take. Please let me know in the comments if you disagree or if you agree. I want to hear you guys' take. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Stay awesome like always, and peace out.